So what do you do if you bought a house at the peak of the housing market last year and you no longer want it? Let's say some family things change. Let's say you just don't like the property. What should you do? I think the first step is to evaluate what the comps are. What are the comparables that are selling at the same type of unit that you have, whether it's a house, whether it's a condo? Like, just look at the comps. What are the comps going for? Because that's ultimately a good predictor of what your house will sell for. So you want to look at similar size homes, a similar zip code, similar amounts of bedrooms, condition, bathroom, whatnot. And the whole point of this exercise is to then graph out in your own mind, where's your bottom line financially? Like, at what point does selling not make sense to you, as in you're losing too much money? And at what point does selling actually make sense for you, where even if you are taking a L, you are not taking an L that you don't want to take, right? Because there will be times where you just made an investment, because that's what real estate is, whether you live in it or you don't. The reality is you made an investment. And if it worked out, wonderful, you won a little lottery. If it didn't work out, it just kind of is what it is. And so this advice that people are saying, oh, if you don't like your house, just sit on it for the next 15 years. Not everybody wants to be a landlord. So you have to evaluate that as well, because a lot of people did get low interest rates, but they don't want to live in the house anymore. So then they're stuck with this asset that they don't want, that the options are either you rent it out, you let it sit vacant, or you sell the damn thing. So you got to think through all of those scenarios. Like, A, do I want to be a landlord? If I am a landlord, what kind of profit, if any, am I making? If you're losing money on it, then I would say cut your L's, cut your losses, sell the damn thing, get some of your money back. Because if the rates keep increasing, if the rates keep the rate keeps increasing, you can make a pretty safe bet that equity values are not going to jump significantly. And how long do you want to wait until the Fed actually decreases rates again down to what it was 2 years ago? I don't know. And I kind of don't want to find out, right? Depending on what your situation is. So I would say look at your budget, look at your net worth, how much of your money is tied up in this asset, because that will determine how high your risk is. If like 80% of your net worth is in this property that you can't afford to see what the Fed does, because if the rate keeps increasing, your equity value, unless inflation somehow grows still despite these artificial levers created to decrease inflation, then you might be really screwed if the equity values drop even more. And a lot of your money is tied up into it. So you got to make the call for yourself. That's ultimately your own decision.